In Fast Food Nation by Eric Schlosser, he describes how the meatpacking industry and the spread of fast food chains has impacted our society in a negative way. After talking about these two factors that have greatly changed the American way from the way it was half a century ago, he draws upon the effects of these changes.
He gives the reader insight into what they're eating at home and restaurants and where it came from by sharing his experiences at the slaughterhouses and the interviews he's had with the founders of well-known chains.
The effects of chains and the way the meat is produced has altered our economy, our health, our culture, and our landscape, which is what Fast Food Nation is all about.
So we're on our way to fast food restaurants now.
And we're gonna go get some local opinions. This loss of culture because food isn't being grown and raised traditionally in the fields like it used to be. Fields that were once home to healthy cows are now being replaced with slaughterhouses and food processing factories. And the more factories, the more air pollution.
Obesity is another really big problem. The U.S. has the highest obesity rate of any industrialized nation in the world.
There's a lack of inactivity, and fast food also plays a part in that.
Half American adults and a quarter of American children are obese or overweight.
Now there's this widened gap between the rich and the poor.
I enjoy it. It's stressful. Very stressful.
Yeah.
It's a lot of responsibility because it's food.
They really need to pay us more.
Supporting fast food, you're not supporting minimum wage, you're not supporting workers' rights.
Fast food restaurants are very affordable due to the use of cheap processing.
Fast food restaurants are very convenient.
There's a Burger King and a Popeyes, a Pizza Hut, and a Taco Bell.
So now, since we're starting to establish our well-known chains in other countries, problems with franchises are becoming even greater. There are many negative consequences that result from the rapid development of fast food chains, one being the production that happens at meatpacking industries. They change how the cattle are raised and processed by demanding faster production lines to produce more meat and make more money. This causes workers to pay less attention to the actual meat and more attention on slaughtering a certain number of cows in a short amount of time. This leads to tainted meat, and actually traces of cow manure were found in the company's top-selling hamburger. There are also illegal immigrants working at slaughterhouses who have to do the dirty work because they accept the low wages.
Earlier we mentioned the lost sense of culture that arises from the establishment of chains. Local farmers and families owned businesses are failing nowadays because of cheap, over-processed foods. Our country's health is declining because we're consuming high-fat and high-sugar foods and beverages at cheap prices.
Since 1980, Chicago's average temperature has increased by about 2.6 degrees.
Chicago's average ozone concentration is 0.093. This fails to meet the national standard of 0.075.
Locally in Skokie, along with Chicago, I've noticed that the winters are a lot colder and the summers are a lot hotter. And this is directly due to global warming and the depletion of the ozone layer.
And just a couple days ago, when I was at the top of the Sears Tower and I looked down, there was a lot of smog in the air. This is due to all the pollution that's being produced.
I feel like the problem in Chicago greatly impacts me because I'm going to be growing up in the city and so are my kids, and I don't like the fact that they're going to be inhaling all this air pollution, and we already have a problem now, so a couple, 10 years later, it's going to be getting worse. So I think that we really need to do something about it now.
This local problem impacts me personally because I know that our country has many resources such as solar panels and windmills, but we don't use those sources of energy as frequently as we should.
I want to go with organic food over fast food, or making food at home over fast food. Fast food, they use a lot of trans fat oils. They use the lowest quality products generally, so they can get the lowest sale price. In life, you know, you get what you pay for.
got a raspberry bush right here.
We don't use pesticides, where we treat our animals passionately and humanely, where we don't cage them, where we don't give them weird antibiotic shots, where the food tastes the way the food should taste.
Just get active, you know? Yes.
So why do we choose Fast Food Nation? Well, I chose it because there's fries on the cover. So I chose the book because I always pass by fast food restaurants and I've heard various rumors about how the food is made and different things, so I was just curious to get insight into what really goes on behind the counter.
And I just chose it because I wanted to see how